Wildfire is a natural disturbance agent and a natural visitor to these ecosystems. From lightning strikes in the summer, and indigenous people burned here for eons.
Fires used to burn through this landscape about once every decade. And they were light, low-intensity burns. They stayed near the ground and tended to maintain the large old trees like this pine behind me.
What happened at Ashland Watershed was that basically we stopped fire from coming. And when you do that in a system that is characterized by frequent fire, you very quickly develop a forest system that becomes extraordinarily vulnerable to stand replacement, catastrophic kind of fire.
These fire-adapted forests persist through fire. The large trees and old growth survive, and the undergrowth recovers quickly. What we're concerned about is severe fire that kills the large trees and old growth.
A partnership launched the Ashland Forest Resiliency Project in 2010 to reduce the buildup of fuels in the forest and reduce the risk of wildfire to the community and watershed. Forest thinning and pile burning have set the stage, reestablishing conditions conducive to the return of low-intensity fire, beneficial fire, or simply good fire.
The only way we can afford to manage fuels in this watershed is through the use of fire. So what we're doing now is just a transitional step. So we'll use what we call controlled burns to help keep the level of fuel low enough so that if a fire ever comes, it won't erupt into a catastrophic fire, but it will be manageable.
Using fire under controlled conditions demands precautions to manage risk and minimize impacts to the community, while achieving the desired benefits of fire for the forest.
Before we do any burning, we check with a number of entities and we try and identify those days where everything falls into place as far as the inversion layer, the winds, the temperature, to where the community is impacted the very least. On occasion, you will see the smoke, and rarely you will actually get some transgression of the smoke into town. I will tell you that a little bit of inconvenience now is much better than a huge megafire where we have no control over it.
Carefully planned pile burning is used to remove cut fuels following thinning. After the bulk of fuel has been reduced, the stage is set to safely reintroduce an underburn to maintain beneficial conditions for the forest. When a treated patch of forest is ready for underburning, fire managers develop a detailed burn plan covering all aspects of the burn and contingencies.
The prescribed fire burn plan goes through an extensive review process, both with our Ashland Forest Resiliency partners and internally in the Forest Service. A burn plan is used to make sure that everything is covered the day of the burn, that we have the adequate resources on site and we have the proper conditions.
Prescribed burns like this one on City of Ashland forest lands can be done safely and effectively, putting in fire line, hose lays, and using plenty of personnel to keep the fire within the containment lines.
Science has shown that fuels reduction and thinning, followed by controlled burns, is the most effective treatment for restoring these forests. Once we've done that work, we need to anticipate returning periodically with light burns, underburns that sustain the conditions that are needed by nature and people.
After a controlled burn, managers mop up remaining embers. Patrols monitor the burned unit to detect any hidden hotspots that require further mop-up until the fire is declared out. The risks associated with controlled burning are managed in smart and effective ways, and are considered in light of the much greater risks of severe fire we face each summer during fire season. Controlled underburning benefits the community through improved fire safety and sustains the important forests and streams in our watershed.
The Ashland Forest Resiliency Project, it's about sustaining the wildlife, it's about sustaining the abundant clean water that we're dependent on. It's about maintaining the safety of the surrounding community. And it's about setting an example and an opportunity for the community to become engaged and showing how communities can be engaged in managing their natural landscapes.